Hi.
Oh, I'm not there.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, I'm here.
Hi.
Just wanted to say hello because
Hi.
it's Monday and we're all
Hello,
here.
happy Monday.
Hey.
How was your weekend?
Mine was good.
Did you rob any banks?
No.
Well, I hope not.
Oh, I mean,
If I did, I wouldn't tell you.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
say, don't say it here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. What's going on, everybody? Hello,
plausible
welcome to
demand.
Monday.
Paint Liquor, thank you for the sub.
Paint liquor.
Yep, we're all here. We're slowly getting back to normal around here.
Yep.
To where I feel like I don't need to be packing boxes.
R Scott, what's up?
T-Schmidt.
Cordy.
What's happening, man? Resub day. Happy resub day. Well, thank you, T-Schmidt. You spent your weekend ordering stuff off the Monument website?
Thank you.
I can't trust
Yeah,
those guys.
That's awesome.
Can't trust those damn guys.
If you don't mind
Always
me
trying to
asking,
sell you cool hobby stuff.
what cool stuff did you get?
Yeah,
Can't
what'd
trust
you
them.
order?
You can't, entice us with cool things being ordered and not tell us what you get.
Can't trust them.
T-Schmidt,
Well,
thank you.
huzzah. I'll just throw back my legs and pollute my
All the
britches
signature
with delight.
series?
Awesome.
What a great
Good
pickup.
choice.
Such a good addition to your collection of
Yeah.
paints. All of those colors are fantastic. You will love them all. I'm gonna do some painting on a Dorito.
Dorito?
Yeah. It's a nickname for it.
Why?
Because it's called the Derideo,
Oh, okay.
and people just call it a Dorito.
Dorito, yeah.
Yeah. And it looks kind of funny, so it makes sense to have like a funny name for it.
What is it? Can you explain what is happening in this thing? Because like I look at it and those red things on the top are the eyes. But I know that's not right.
Oh no. So you got legs.
Uh-huh.
You got some weird hip stuff going on here. This is its chest, and its
Uh-huh.
head is this little
Yeah, that's
black
what
thing
I
right there.
figured. Even though it
These
looks
are
like
missile
those
launchers
should
on the
be.
top. So these little
Okay.
red dots are in fact a bunch
Missiles.
of little missiles,
Shooty things.
missiles.
Monument Jabe.
My name is Jabe. What the heck is he doing here?
Hello.
He pretends to work, and yet he only watches stream. It's just the stream.
It's just the
That's part of his job.
So last week I got it all prepped, did all the Sons of Horus green, brought it up a little bit brighter than I typically do for the Sons of Horus stuff, because I'm going to be doing a bunch of niche filtering today. But instead of doing the kind of all over, like slap it on and then wipe it off, we're going to be doing a lot more controlled, like Jason did in his video, because I was inspirized by the video and by his completed Contemptor, which looks freaking awesome.
It's over here.
Punisher said I spent my weekend not ordering stuff off the Monument website because my wife better be buying that stuff for me.
Well, yeah.
Christmas
Yeah.
is coming. Hopefully you gave her
Depends
a
on
good
which
list.
Christmas list you're on, though.
It's funny because I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was like, "So I think my wife got me some news for Christmas, so I'm gonna do all these things that we've been talking about." And then he was like, "Wait a second, never mind. Apparently she did not.
Aw.
So let me know when it's back in stock so I can buy some."
Aw.
Dang.
Yeah, it's funny too because I told her about it, and I gave her links to buy
Like,
all
you
the
better
things,
get it now.
and she didn't.
Well,
So
snooze you lose.
yeah.
Nick Pye said some goofball put several bottles of obnoxiously bright paint in my mailbox today. Didn't even have the decency to include cooking instructions.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Hey, now. That's not how that works. Wink,
Uh,
wink, nudge, nudge.
And then we did have a real question.
We have one right down there too.
Where did it go? Can I highlight with transparent paint, or is it too transparent?
Yeah, you can definitely highlight with transparent paint. The way you would want to do it, you wouldn't do it for all applications, but the white transparent is a particularly good highlight for doing white. It's a great way to build up that brightness, and get a really nice soft transition for your colors. Most of the time, because of the transparency, it will not cover as well. But if you're going with a darker transparent color over a lighter color, it will highlight great. Well, it'll filter great over your bright colors.
Greyhame 101. Why is noosh called noosh?
Because it's
the
a
name we
new
gave it.
form of wash.
New wash.
Wash. Noosh. also fun to say.
Yeah.
It is fun to say.
Just new shit.
Just new shit.
It's when you have a new product that isn't like anything else out there, it was hard for us to think about it because we don't normally name things like that.
Yeah.
And it was like, but wait, it doesn't have a binary. Like, there's no correlation in the world of stuff that's already out there that people would be familiar with to name it by. We were just like, good, let's name it Coke. But that was taken.
Yeah.
So then we were like, what about Nike? And that was also taken, as Gabe was doing all of his trademark searches.
Yeah.
Turns out Coke and Nike were taken. So Noosh, on the other hand, not taken. So we chose Noosh.
Yeah, have you ever thought, what is Coke? Like, why
From the
Coke?
coca bean.
Yeah,
Is that
And it
actually?
had cocaine in it.
it had cocaine in it.
Oh,
well, not
well.
cocaine, but basically a derivative from the same.
Well, glad that isn't the case anymore.
Yeah.
All
All
was
right.
it?
This is
And
Antonio.
Okay, perfect.
Antonio.
Yeah, Antonio.
119.
Yeah.
Have you ever done a video on the dark green armor recipe? Sorry, Antonio, your name is just really dark on our screen. It was hard to read.
The dark green armor recipe. I mean, are you talking about this? The colors that I've done for my Deradeo, the Cool Ranch Dorito, the one that includes jade.
Like from a methodology. Is there a methodology for that? Maybe.
Maybe
It's in the
on
Discord. Okay, yeah. So this is a Discord methodology. Maybe it's an old one.
Oh,
I'll look
maybe?
really quick.
Yeah, it's possible.
Let me check.
Coxie, I am painting a Horus Heresy Warhammer 30k Horus Heresy Deradeo Dreadnought. Politely and affectionately referred to as a Dorito. My preference happens to be the Cool Ranch variety of Doritos.
Gross.
You don't like Cool Ranch?
I don't know.
Looking
They're
at
okay.
dark green.
Regular traditional Doritos always kind of hit the spot too sometimes when you're in the mood for that.
Dark green armor. Yeah, it's an older methodology from November of 2020. So I don't know that there is a video on that.
It probably would have been captured. Is what's in the armor?
It's
Dark Angel? Is it the Space Marine one?
I don't know. All I can see is a part of it. I can't tell what it is. I don't know enough. I'll come over here with it.
So,
Not something I remember right off the top of my head.
I'm going to mix up some fancy schmancy noosh.
Oh wow, yeah, that one's really old. That was when I was thinking about doing my Custodes. That color.
Wow.
That jet bike. No, there's no video on that. But that methodology is really good. It explains everything out very well. So it should be fairly easy to follow.
All right.
And Roy Decog just got a Monument Tools Pro Air XG. Excited to learn how to use it.
These, they are awesome. They do the trick like no one ever has before. They're really good. I really enjoy them. Okay, so we're going to mix this stuff up. Since we're doing a good chunk of the model, we're going to mix a decent amount of this up.
What did everybody do over the weekend? Anything fun? Anybody do anything fun?
CC4477, what are the benefits of airbrushing versus just using brushes?
Quick, very smooth blends and transitions are what the airbrush excels at. Also, just overall coverage very quickly, so that you can get a lot of paint on a surface for base coating and things like that a lot quicker with an airbrush. And like I said, get nice blends. So You'll see us use them for all sorts of things. It is a fantastic tool to have in your arsenal, but don't fall victim to that whole what's better. There isn't a better between brushing and airbrushing. They have their, like any tool, they have their uses. These guys, I have done a little bit of airbrushing, mainly for like some spot highlighting and for the base coats to get like the purple, the dark purple, and then the bright yellow green that I put over the top to get those laid down. I did airbrush, and then everything else I've been doing brush work over the top of my airbrushing. And then I went back later on and did a little bit of slight airbrushing of highlights, just like, the top of his head and this, shoulder, and just very easy stuff like that. So it really is just choosing the correct tool for the point that you're at on the model that's going to give you the desired effect. There are some models I never use the airbrush at all. There's some models where I airbrush the absolute crud out of them and do much less with a paintbrush. Just depends. Tanks typically get less brush painting, like vehicles, a lot more airbrush and less brush painting. Models like this, more brush painting, less airbrushing, just because the details are smaller. And it would be tough to come in here and do this whole model with the airbrush, obviously, because you're not going to paint the teeth and things like that with it.
So the grips look like they will help beginners. And over the weekend, Ghost Hunter knocked a mini off of my painting desk and shattered it beyond repair.
No.
Was it made of glass? Or did it fall like a great distance onto a hard floor?
Might have been like resin printed, maybe.
P. Schmid took my kid to 3 different birthday parties over the weekend. Now the poor guy is sick. Yeah. Hopefully
he did the hangout with poo-fingered kids.
That's why, yeah. You put a bunch of poo-fingers together, someone's getting sick.
Someone's getting sick.
Well, Tomato said my sister got new lungs over the weekend.
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
That's
Surgery
awesome.
went well. Congratulations.
Got what?
New lungs.
New lungs?
Yeah, like a lung transplant.
Who did?
His sister, Tomato's
wow.
sister.
Holy hell.
Heck
That's
yeah, Wad
crazy.
Tomato.
How long has that been waiting for?
Yeah, see, that's like a big thing. And then it's like, and I played Sorcery TCG, got 3rd out of 7th with the deck I threw together right before the event. Just those
Nice.
2 things. Just 2 little things over the weekend.
I find it really weird that I have not seen and or heard of anything about this game. I've heard a lot of people talking about it, but I've like literally never seen any product for it.
Huh.
Online or otherwise. I'm just like, which is weird because I'm a card game nerd.
You're pretty immersed.
I would like to think I'm pretty on point with the new releases in that space.
Well, Tomato, where'd you get the game? How'd you find out about it? Can you hook Jordan up? And I think this is Antonio again. Yes, Antonio, for Slow Fuse, what is your preferred paint dilution and PSI for volumetric highlighting with the airbrush? I've only used it for base coating so far, and I'm looking to take the next step.
A lot of that depends on the color. I thin quite a bit more for bright colors, where I know I'm going to get a lot of contrast in one go. So I'll thin down a lot more and build up lazily over the top, if that makes sense, so that I don't overdo it with my first spray. A lot of times that's what I'll do for like highlights on this skin. I thinned it way down with the olive flesh so that I could come back over and airbrush so that it wouldn't give me spotting or anything in my shadows that I had brush painted, because I like a lot of texture on skin, so I didn't want it to smooth it out too much. So I would say for diluting, you're probably in the neighborhood of at minimum 50-50, right? And then you probably are leaning heavier into your water or flow improver or whatever you're using to dilute your paint. I used a lot of our glaze wash medium, and so I probably went 3-to-1 glaze wash medium to paint, and then a little spritz of water in there to make it a little bit thinner, so that when you're spraying it, you can see through the paint, and then that way you can build it up, because you can always achieve closer to opacity by layering a bunch. But if you go too opaque at the beginning, you can't fix that. You have to go paint the color that was underneath it again. And so for like what you're saying, volumetric highlights, assuming that we're doing them late in the model, then I go with a heavier dilution. If I'm doing it for things like zenithal highlighting, where I'm doing it at the beginning of the model, I don't dilute at all because I'm looking to have very big punchy highlights show up, right? So if I've got a model and I'm trying, this has been dry brush to do it on this, but if I'm just trying to create the white and black, kind of quick highlighting, then, I won't dilute it at all. Something like this, just white primer over black primer, no dilution. And then I paint over the top. But if I'm doing it with the airbrush with actual color late in the model, then I have to back off and dilute a whole lot more.
Ghost Hunter said that the mini that shattered beyond repair was the D&D Frameworks mini. I think it was hard plastic like GW. Bummer. And Wad Tomato's sister, double lung transplant. She didn't wait too long. Was very surprising.
That's good.
That's incredible.
That's happy to hear it.
Definitely something to be thankful for. Like Tech Daddy said, that is something to be thankful for.
Double lung transplant.
Double lung
That's
transplant.
crazy, right?
I'm an organ donor. Are you guys organ donors?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't need it anymore.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, mine are getting a little old, but
yeah.
might last you for a while.
If I'm in a position where that matters, I certainly don't need it anymore.
My former boss, a principal, when I was teaching, his wife needed a kidney transplant, and he happened to be a match.
Oh wow,
so
that's
he
crazy.
gave her a kidney. Yeah, one of those where you can live with one. And Wad Tomato said the game, he learned about it from the Kickstarter. I believe I first heard about it from one of Team Covenant's streams.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, I remember those
Kickstarter.
guys. So one of the things I almost messed up on is I realized I need to do all my chipping and weathering before I do my filters with Noosh.
Oh, you would do that before?
I definitely like doing it before because it'll apply that filter over all of the grime and scratches that you're putting on the model, and it'll kind of do a good job of blending all of those scratches and weathering together to make it feel like it belongs on the model. So I was like doing it before.
Spatsnat said, when I first heard Noosh, I immediately thought of sploosh, which was the fermented jarred peaches that the kids found in the movie Holes.
Yeah.
And that's funny because we sent some Noosh to Rob from Spiky Bits, and when he got the order confirmation email, he replied back to it, and he just said, sploosh the Noosh. That's it. Sploosh the Noosh. Okay. Thank you for the raid, Trollhole.
Hello, welcome Raiders.
Somebody likes us.
CF Bunny, man, I hate USPS. Today was supposed to be a new paint day. Instead, it left the same facility it said it left several days ago. Again this morning. I knew I should have paid for better shipping. USPS.
We're getting to the time of the year that I don't know how that it matters how much you pay for shipping.
And yes, they, at this point, probably don't care too much about what the shipping class is.
Yeah, good luck getting it there.
And if you bought it from us, we don't have any kind of expedited shipping just because we are not confident in their ability to expedite. So we just offer standard, ground, and priority shipping. Priority, in some cases, might get there a day earlier than ground. And when I say a day earlier, I mean only a day earlier. So if it's worth it to you to pay sometimes double to get it one day earlier, then you can upgrade to priority. Otherwise, your ground is pretty consistent. And UPS, I would avoid at all costs. But that's just me personally.
UPS, you said? Yeah. I've had not the best results.
They do great with the big stuff.
UPS does good with larger packages,
they do better with larger things than USPS. USPS does good with the small stuff, which is the majority of what we send. So most of our stuff is USPS. And hello, Slavic.
Slavic, hello.
Slavic.
It's probably
Avian said, Baby J, do you have suggestions on how to paint teeny tiny marines? Should I just accept that they will be game pieces?
You mean?
Oh yeah, that's
these
right.
Guys.
Yeah. Are those are those smaller than the ones Matt was painting, or are they the same?
These are smaller.
Those are smaller.
Yeah, these are 8mm versus I don't know what scale his are in. You know,
10 to 12.
It's 10 to 12. Yeah. The answer is they're game minis, and you're gonna have a chunk of them together on one base. And you're gonna be looking at it from 3 or 4 feet away. Don't worry about getting them real fancy, because the thing is, because you're playing a smaller scale game, you will have a bajillion models that need to get painted. If you paint each one individually, you're going to be there forever. And while you can do that if you want, there's only so much that you can do that's going to register in a visual sense. So, generally speaking, I find it's better to just get them painted to a quality that looks nice at the distance that you're going to be playing with them at. Aside from that, I try not to worry about it. But you can get a lot with a little bit of work, right? Because, you know, the details are generally pretty good on that sort of stuff, and you can paint it in a way where you represent. If you get the base coats good, and you do like a wash, that's all you really need to do. You can go back and you put some highlights on there, but a lot of the time you're not really going to notice it. Yeah, tidy base coats and the wash is the plan. That's definitely what I would do. I'm going to do a little bit of freehand work because I'm doing Iron Warriors for my Space Marine Legion, because it matches my Adeptus Titanicus models that I already have done. And Trader. So I'm gonna do a bit of hazard striping on the tanks and on the legs and stuff for some of the Marines, but I'm not gonna go super duper crazy with it.
Slovak saying, I recently decided I wanted to do a snowy base for reasons. Any tips? I have the snow texture paste you guys sell, but I've never used it and feel like I want more than just that texture paste.
Is this for the December challenge, maybe?
Oh, can you not give tips if it's for the December challenge?
Generally speaking, we don't.
Yeah.
However, if you want to cheat a little bit, there's a short that I did on how to do snow bases for the trolls that I have.
The general gist is to build your base up with other material before relying. Don't just rely on putting the snow on the base to be snow. Give yourself some, rock, ballast, cork, other things. Build up your textures that way, and then use the snow to fill in the gaps.
Yep.
Right?
Think about it as if you're placing the snow on top of things that already exist.
Right.
And it will look more natural that way.
Yeah, if you're building that base, and for a springtime base, what would you do? Do that same thing, then put snow over the top of it, because that's how snow works.
That's true.
All right, we got a little bit of a beat up Deredeo. I'm gonna do some little scratches and stuff on the model really quick. Generally, when I like to do sponge weathering like this, I like to do the sponge and then I go back a little bit with a sharp pointed brush just to do some scratches and to pull some of the spots of chipping together.
That's awesome, War Squirrel.
Ooh, fluorescence.
Been having people start getting them and playing with them.
Yeah.
Saw the first Noosh model that somebody posted in
Oh,
Discord today. Yeah.
Awesome.
It was very cool to see.
Like I said, I've actually never done anything to a base, so
Oh, wow.
I'll find that video. That's like me.
Yeah, Jen refuses to do the
Like
basing.
he's standing on a road, just a black tar road. That's it. That's where
Every
the
model
person's-
she's done
that's where the
is
model
on
is standing.
tarmac.
All of my models are standing in an empty parking lot, basically. Tidy Base Coats in the Wash was one of my favorite lesser known punk bands. Saw them open once for Iggy Pop and the Stooges.
The so when building bases, there's all sorts of things you can do. I like to use things like cork, like this. You know, so you can take old bits of cork and put them on there, and they make it look like rock, right? Then you can apply the texture over that. And with, you know, if I wanted to make this guy on a snowy base, I would do probably the gray fine texture first. Again, thinking that, you know, it's not, it doesn't have to be snow from the start. I want to make it as if it were before it snowed. Put whatever texture on there that I want and let that dry, and then do the snow over the top of that. And sometimes you want to go ahead and paint the whole base before you put the snow on.
Omicron Samurai, hello.
Hello, Omicron.
Return.
Omicron.
Millimeter Matte, how does one use the Monument glaze and wash medium? Is it as simple as dilute a little for a glaze, dilute a little more for a wash?
Dilute a little for a glaze, or however much you want for a glaze is really the key. And then add water to that mixture. Once you get it to the point where you like it as a glaze, add water to it to turn it into a wash. It's really that easy.
Irish Rock 1987, hello, happy Monday.
I usually say about, 5 or 6 to 1 medium to paint. And then double the amount of liquid that creates, right? Because now you'll have X amount of paint in your mix cup or however you're mixing. And then double that with water. So put enough water in there to nearly double the amount of liquid you're dealing with. And that'll start getting you, well, that'll give you a wash. That'll give you a good wash. You may reduce that as you need. Give you a good start.
The Gentleman Paints, good day. Avian said thank you for the paints and brushes. They showed up this weekend. Awesome.
Nice.
Irish Rock just picked up the fluorescents. Going to be using them on my Escher house gangers.
Ooh, nice. Some Necromunda.
Omicron, are you guys going to be in the office tomorrow morning? We are here. Oh, who specifically available? Who specifically and for how long?
What do you need? Alright, I think pretty good on the weathering here with the scritches and stuff.
The three of us. Let's see what.
At what time?
Whenever works, he said.
Hmm?
Jason has a meeting at 9 a.m. and then stream at 2.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything crazy going on.
Yeah, I don't see Jordan's calendar. I only see mine and Jason.
Yeah, I don't have it.
So pre 9 a.m. or post. I don't know how long Jason's meeting will last. Usually not more than an hour.
So, full black.
9 a.m. meetings are a bummer. I don't know. I think that's a good time for a meeting.
I think so too.
8:39. That gives me a little time to get everything started.
Yeah.
Check all my emails that came in over the night.
Don't set it for 8 o'clock.
And then, yeah, no 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
8 o'clock meetings are a bummer.
Yeah.
9 o'clock is fine. 8 o'clock is when everyone has questions.
That tracks.
8 o'clock. You
4:30
better live
meetings
in
are
a
bad. Well,
country
we close
other
at
than
4,
the United
so-
States if you're
Yeah.
asking me for a meeting.
What'd you say?
At 8 o'clock in the morning, you better live somewhere other than the U.S. if you're asking me for a meeting. That's my international meeting times.
Yeah, afternoon Friday meetings. Nope. Nope.
So I'm putting a
Oh,
little
I
bit of.
would have those when I was teaching. The worst ones were like IEP meetings that were scheduled at 3 o'clock on Fridays. Worst.
Using a bit of dark silver here to fill in some of these areas where the paint has chipped off. Kind of roughly stippling it into those areas.
10:30 looks pretty clear, Omicron. Yeah, I would avoid traffic. Keep your sanity. Panic Bomb said, hello, there was a package of magic waiting for me when I got home. I like to
Nice.
hear it.
Awesome.
What kind of magic was in there? Some bright ones?
A top hat, a rabbit, some swords I don't know what to do with. I was kind of filling in these areas where I pulled off a lot of the paint. You can see those areas where it's a little bit of
Hey, somebody likes us.
the dark silver coming in.
Fluorescence and noosh.
Nice.
Whoa. That's graphic. We just say wizard's butt.
Thank you for the follow.
It's Leviathan.
Maybe Leviathan. Leviathan was taken, so we're Leviathan.
Leviathan.
Thank you for that follow.
The other thing you want to do is if you're doing weathering like this, you want to make sure that you put your decals on before doing this stage as well. Because you want to have the decals, if you're using them, be kind of chipped apart in some way because it helps blend them onto the armor. It always looks a little funny when you have like a fresh, clean decal over a little scratch in the armor that you've put in with sponge weathering.
Maybe it's an off the wall question. What off the wall presents have you been threatened with?
Presents?
My sister-in-law threatened to get me an axe throwing set. I mean, I think that sounds like a great gift.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Not for me. I have terrible aim. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to give me an
Please
axe.
do not
until
send
we
Jen
throw
axe
it.
throwing gifts, please, for the betterment of my life.
Oh, I know
And
what
all
I'm
those
getting you for
involved.
There are no
Christmas.
team building activities at Monument Hobbies that involve axe throwing, even though those places look so fun. No way. I'm scared.
I would love
Hey,
to see
somebody
you do
likes
that,
us.
Jen. That would make me laugh so hard.
Frankie
As
Bula,
everybody
thank
exits
you
the
for the
room.
follow.
I'm happy to sit in another room.
Yeah,
That's fine.
As long as
Easy
there's
enough.
ballistic
Been a
glass
safe
between me
and
and the
Jen.
axe throwing Jen,
yeah,
we're good. I'm all for it. I support her 100% in that throwing of the axe.
Do you not have those like axe throwing places in Chicago? That's a thing here.
They're smart not to not let Chicagoans
Yeah,
have
well,
sharp
he said I live
objects
in
on
Chicago.
top of.
I don't want to be in the inside of a police station or in a morgue. For a minute, someone at Bridgestone thought it would be cool to have our giant multi-team planning meeting start at 7:20 a.m.
Oh my.
No way. What
gosh.
time does your workday start? mean, if your workday starts at 7, I can get it, but like, that's terrible.
I've definitely had in the past some like 7:30 a.m. meetings when I don't start work until 9.
Eesh.
Yeah.
Ugh. Paint Liquor said, "Oh, my Wadron Drum Beast just showed up. It'll be the
Ooh.
biggest model I'll have ever painted."
Nice.
Do you know what this is?
Yeah, it's
What-
a Wadroon drum beast.
Uh,
It's a big dinosaur.
oh, cool.
Yeah. Oh. It's one of the conquest models. Kind of like it's from the same game as the Fallen Divinity that I was painting. Yeah.
Chuck the Mead Man.
Up, Chuck.
What's up, Chuck?
That's
That's when
one
you
said,
puke
"I
'cause
can't
you
believe
drank
it's
too
not
much?"
oil wash." You take full credit for what? Oh, and there's Jade. Hello.
Hi, Jade. So I'm going back here with the bright highlight color that I had, and I'm gonna go put some little highlights in areas where right next to where the chipping is. Helps create a little bit more depth to those chips in the paint.
Dan said, "What if Leonardo da Vinci needs to do a meeting at 7:30 a.m. Arizona time because he wants to use Pro Acryl on Mona Lisa 2: The Revengeance? Could you do that meeting, Fuse?" I mean, yes, because there is so much more than just painting the Mona Lisa 2 involved in this. I would get up for that.
I mean, I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
take a hard
My
pass.
first question is, how did you get here to 2023?
Yeah, I'm
Let's
gonna take
just
a
meet
hard
about that
pass. I feel
first.
like this is like the Nigerian prince telling me I have $1 million in customs right now.
or he's a zombie. Neither one of those two
Yeah,
things.
either one of
sounds
those are not
particularly
looking good for me.
Irish Rock, yeah, that Punisher's got its paint rack.
Not super interested in undead Leonardo da Vinci.
I mean, I would be fascinated to know more at a very long and not so sudden distance. Get me away from that guy. Tell me from afar.
I'll watch it on Dateline.
Oh, there you go.
Millimeter Matt, public service announcement here for the fellow nerds. Registration for Adepticon opens January 7th.
Oh, look at that. Nice.
The Nigerian prince is commissioning the painting from Da Vinci.
That's what I was afraid of.
Yeah.
Oh, this is getting more and more suspect by the minute. Heard you guys got some cool pieces of art over the weekend, Jason.
We did.
Mhm.
We went to the Tempe Art Festival.
Very cool.
Walked around. We drugged Carter and William. I know they were pleased. We went and we have been, since moving into the new house, we've been like, you know what? We need some art on the walls. Do some decorating. And yeah, so we went down and walked around yesterday.
Beautiful day.
It was a great day
So nice out.
for walking around. And yeah, found 2 pieces of art. And believe it or not, the Art Fest is where I bought my pillow years ago, like 3 years ago.
No, it's not. Like
Yeah.
the pillow you use every day?
The pillow that I use every day for sleeping, and
What
it's
the
the
heck?
only pillow I've been able to keep that long in my entire life. And I
That's
got it at the
insane.
art festival because they have like a, local kind of it's like farmers market portion of it. That's
Mhm.
like people that make honey and
Yeah.
That's also where I got peppermint oil.
herbs. The people from what is the bee Sting and Linger, the hot sauce
Oh
people,
yeah, yep.
because they're in Arizona.
Well, that sounds like a blast.
So anyway, there's a lot going on there. So we got Jen had wanted one of those pillows. I needed another one. It's a millet
Millet
husk
pillow.
pillow.
Yep.
I feel like I need to check this out.
It's a great pillow.
It was great. I slept on it last night, and I need to empty out some of the millet, but it was great.
Is it one of those that's like a little bit more dense?
Yeah, it's almost like a beanbag, kind of.
Yeah, okay,
Yep.
that was kind of the what I remembered hearing
Mm-hmm.
from Jason's last explanation.
Hey, look, are you, do you use Instagram? Because I posted a picture of one of the pieces that we bought yesterday, and I tagged Monument Hobbies. So if you go to the Monument Hobbies Instagram page and hit the tagged, you'll see a picture of me and Jason with the artist.
Yeah, it was with the first one that we got. I was walking around and just looking in booths, and I looked around the corner of a booth, and I go, ooh, ooh, ooh. There was a painting of a family of donkeys.
4 donkeys.
4 donkeys. It's called the Sassafras Gang,
Yeah.
because it's like a family of donkeys, and like the one donkey in the lower left is like grinning its butt off, and it's just a hilariously whimsical thing. But
That's awesome.
it's done in all the colors of our living area, like to a T.
Yep.
Like she made it for us.
Yep.
And so I was like, "Oh my god, this is great!"
And
we
she's
got
like,
our car
she's
and
all
walked around
casual.
a
She's
little
like,
bit.
oh yeah, this is on a street sign, so it's like a big traffic sign, metal sign thing.
Yeah.
She painted over it. She's like, I painted this last week in Mesa. Awesome. Yeah, 4 asses on one painting. Exactly. They're super cute.
That's awesome.
And then the second one that we got, I'll post another picture and tag the Monument account too, so you guys can see that. But that one we didn't take it with us because it was hanging in one direction, and we wanted it to go the other way. So he kept it to change the hanging part of it.
The guy who would go
It's
and
cool.
photograph in very high resolution rusty car hoods and things.
Yep.
And then he would take these rusty car hood photos and textures basically that he had created and mount them, do metal work and mount them in metal frames, and then rust the frames.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a really neat, like, visual texture that's created out of the whole thing. So we picked up one of his works because, again, rusts are with seafoam greens and
Blue.
kind of sunset yellows is the color palette of our living area. And so the rust really, really fits in.
We did. We bought 2 birdseed pillows at an art festival farmers market, actually. Overlord Tweak, hello. Been working on finishing 2 units for my CIS Star Wars Legion army.
Nice.
Then
okay.
on to finishing my Sapa Warlord on Spirit Jaguars for Mythic Americas.
Oh, nice.
Droidica, on the Pro Air XG, what do the 2 tips do?
The tip covers is what those are. One of them is a fan, the one that has slots in it, and the other one is just the circle one that you use for general painting. The fan one, generally with our paint, they don't make that big of a difference, but it gives you a little bit more openness to the airflow coming out, and so it lets the spray be a little broader. It's not like a true fan tip, but allows it to do a little bit more aggressive output of paint. You can use it for priming. It generally stays in the box and don't care about it.
Slavic said, did you let them know if they want to bring their painting to the next level? You guys sell some cool paints. We did actually talk to one artist about our paint.
She got our card.
Yeah.
She's like, has a real hard time. The way she paints, she has a real hard time with her black lining because she uses artist acrylics out of a tube. And just like I always say, they are not built at the right viscosity for doing that kind of fine detail work. You have to thin the crud out of them, which is why we make Pro-Acryl. And she said it for me. I didn't have to say it. She's
That's
like,
funny.
she's like, ooh. She's like I have to buy this paint that doesn't exist anymore from Grumbacher. that you can't get
Yeah,
anywhere.
she said she doesn't even use it for anything else.
Right.
Right.
She bought a bunch of them when they were almost impossible to get.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing she uses that paint for, and is for the line work that she does.
And her stuff was super cool.
Oh yeah, she does super
Like these
neat
massive. Was it canvas? Or
stuff.
like on
Canvas
a
and
board.
wood. Yeah.
Wood, yeah. And they have just all these really bright colors, and then just so much detailed black line work. It reminded me almost of like those Zen doodle kind of things
Yeah.
that you draw and then color in. She did the opposite. So she does the painting first and then puts the line work on top of it. It was
Oh, that's
amazing.
really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, her paintings have so much motion to them because of that. But all the black work that she does, she paints,
Mhm.
not by pen.
Yeah, she was doing it all. Well, I mean, she was sitting there working on one.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I should look you guys up. Like, yes, you should. You probably won't be happy with the price for as much as you use.
Yeah.
But
That's probably true.
but I could be wrong, because having a price on a good product that works for her painting
That's true.
versus not being
The
able to buy
sanity
what she needs
aspect of
is
it
probably
Might be worth it.
worth it. Just went to show that, or goes to show that no matter what medium you're painting on, it doesn't change the way paint works. There's always a need for your paint to do a specific thing, especially as you get into people that are trying to set themselves apart with cool artistic techniques like that. It's not something that you see a lot of people doing. It was a lot of fun. Talk to her and tell her about what we did.
We did not. I felt like we didn't have to tell them that they shouldn't eat the paint.
Yeah, I feel like if anybody knows that you shouldn't do that, it's going to be somebody who handles...
Turns out all you paint lickers are legit involved in a trend that goes nowhere else. Of course, oil paint canvas people know better.
Oh,
Yeah.
They're not trying to lick the brush.
So this mix, just in case anybody's curious, is 2 parts Noosh medium to 1 part brown ink, or I'm sorry, brown.
transparent.
Holy crap! I'm like trying to do this at the same time. 2 parts Noosh, 1 part brown transparent, 1 part black transparent. And I'm just kind of
If everyone did it, it wouldn't be special.
putting it on and taking it off, getting a nice little amount of filtering here.
Is that statement in regards to brush licking?
Yes, eating the paint. I think. Well, it's from Paint Liquor, so I assume.
You're special, all right.
So that part's done. We're gonna do the chest now.
He said thanks, Fuse.
You said what?
Thanks, Fuse.
I'm looking out for you, man. I recognize the greatness that is paint liquor.
I thought we weren't supposed to tell them how awesome they are.
Huh?
I thought we weren't supposed to tell them how awesome they are. It's gonna make their head explode.
Oh, well. There's worse things.
A nice solid coat all over the torso here. And the joints as well.
Millimeter Matt said, I'm trying not to lick the brush anymore, but I don't see how to get a nice tip to the brush. What do you folks do?
I roll my brush on the paper towel that I wipe it off on.
Yeah, so you'll see, I mean, I get it to a point on the paper towel, and then, when I am taking off the paint to get it prepped for painting, I get a super dagger edge, but I also flatten it out. I've talked for a long time about the better way to paint. You don't need a cylindrical point on a brush, number one, ever, unless you're doing lettering, and even then you distort the tip super quick. Your better practice is to get a more chisel tip going, right? And there are like filberts and cat tongues and brushes they make that are shaped like this. We've thought about making one. A lot of the fine artists out there will use one. Marco Frazzoni and some of the other people that I've seen on Twitch use them. But I've been painting this way forever, and I try to teach you that if you just by making brush strokes, you create this shape, right? And so I have a really fine dagger tip, so I can get in here and do, like a really, really fine, straight highlight edge if I need to. It's like having the best point ever, right? But then in the other direction, so here I have a fine point, and here I have a way to do better coverage. So if I need to get in and do more paint on the model all at once, then I use that edge. And as you paint, because you're applying pressure like this, right, every brush stroke you do helps to reinforce this shape. It flattens out the tip in one direction and makes a better point in the other. So you just continually rotate your brush as you're painting. You rotate to where you need a wider stroke for more coverage and a thin stroke for more detail. Wider stroke for more coverage, thin stroke for more detail. And you're just constantly rotating your brush depending on what you need to do at the time. Super simple. Once you get it in your head that that's how the brush really wants to be used and you see what you can do with it that way, then you really don't worry about it anymore. When I look at a part of a model and I'm like, oh, what I really need here is a super fine point, then I just rotate the brush around to get my super fine point.
But yeah, you will never see either of these two lick a brush.
No.
There's no need.
Asylum. It is, first of all, never give up hope, because we can help you. But that being said, we didn't even start shipping fluorescent Anoush until last Monday, so it's only been 1 week. And we had over 1,000 orders. So as far as how long does it take to get to you and when should it be considered lost, you have to really look at first the actual ship date, not when you ordered it, but the actual ship date, and go from there. Because if yours was one of the very first ordered, it would have potentially gone out Monday, and right now things are taking. I mean, the basic shipping that we offer is usually like a 5 business day in transit at least. So don't panic. I know that you want your stuff. We absolutely understand that. But you got to give it some time, especially at this time of year. Things are just a little slower. But we do know people are starting to get them. So yeah, you'll get, if you ordered it directly from us, you will have received a tracking or an email with tracking information. It also does we also do send out a delivery notification, but the tracking can be unreliable. So
we've seen like UPS and USPS not scan.
Yeah,
packages,
when they have so many. So here's the thing too.
Info.
Yep. I was talking to a postal worker last week on Thursday, and he was telling me about the different people that come and drop off, different businesses that drop off packages at their location, and they get them from like Macy's, so like the Macy's down the street is bringing their orders down to the post office when they, if they didn't get as much out during a pickup that they wanted. And he said that there was a customer that brought in 1,800 boxes one day and dropped them off. So they have a lot right now that they're working with. And Omicron Samurai is a postal worker, so he can definitely, very, very busy right now.
That time of year, everybody's trying to get their Christmas gifts delivered. shopping. But yeah, doing the new product release along with all of this set us back a little bit. We normally, you're used to buying, shopping with us. You've seen turnaround times as quick as same day, depending on when you order. And at this time of year, it goes back to our standard 24, 48 hours and longer when we have product release stuff. So just bear with us.
Omicron's saying I got 100 more packages today than I do on a normal Monday.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We're doing our normal pickup that our carrier does every day, and we're also taking them the overflow. You know, it's like Carter took this morning a whole mess of packages that we did over the weekend.
Well, all the weekend stuff because they didn't come pick them up.
Yeah, definitely. If you see your postal carrier, UPS, thank them right now. Just let them know that you appreciate their work.
Thank you, Omicron.
Yeah.
For the record. Thank you.
They really are. I mean, yeah, USPS is very reliable for sure. They just sometimes they'll be inconsistent in their scanning, like it'll miss a scan at some point along the way. So you might not get updates and then it'll just show up. Yeah. Yeah, and that could be incorrect too, potentially, because I was looking at when we actually had a package that got returned to us because of the address, and I was looking at the tracking, and it did look like it kind of went all over the place.
Would not be surprised because of the volumes if they were sending packages to places that will eventually get to a place just so that they eventually get there, even though it takes a little bit longer.
And weather, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it is almost winter time.
Well, we know that there's snow in certain places too.
Right, which slows everything down.
Yeah. And Kyra, I didn't take it as complaining. I understand that you were just asking. I just want everyone to understand that you know, because we ship hundreds of packages a day, whereas you guys don't. You know, so it's like I always would say when I would travel, like there's business travelers who travel all the time, and they know what the processes are and how to get things done quickly and smoothly. And then you have families who maybe only travel once a year, if that. And, you know, so people who are experienced and travel all the time, they get frustrated. But you just got to stop and think, okay, well, most people don't do this all the time, so we need to give them a break. You know? Well, Tomato said he complained about how long the tracking said it was going to take for Noosh, and then magically it changed to the next day. So clearly they're watching. I mean, we should always assume that government agency probably listening to everything we say. So thank you, USPS. You're doing a great
you're
job.
Awesome. Thank you.
We love you. Please deliver everyone's paint on time.
Depending on what year and what time of year you catch us, we are always in a love-hate with one of the delivery services.
Yeah.
We wish we could say there was one that was always our favorite.
No, it varies for sure. Be kind to your mail person, especially if you're in the snow. I mean, just be kind to everyone.
Yeah, being kind is just generally a good quality.
It is hard. I get frustrated. Some people out there that just want to be like, really?
Mostly when driving.
Every time when driving.
I am remarkably chill when I'm driving.
Ugh.
I don't know how
I'm gonna
I've
hire you
arrived
to drive
at
me
that
around
state.
everywhere
Yeah,
because
sure.
I am not.
Yeah. I could care less. Because the way that I look at it is I am looking at all the things that are happening around me. So I'm, cognizant of what's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm not putting myself into positions where I could get hurt by somebody doing something recklessly.
Yeah.
Not that that is a catch-all.
Yeah, you're in a car. So
Yeah,
yes, you are.
yeah. Not that it. Yeah, it's not a catch-all, but generally speaking, I don't feel like, it's stupid, but they're doing it to themselves, I guess, and other people. But
Well, yeah.
I don't know. It's stupid.
A lot of the cars a lot of drivers out there are not paying attention to anything except their phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm over other drivers.
I'm over other drivers. I don't blame you.
To take the bus.
All of the things that you feel about people driving stupid are totally valid.
Yeah. They really are. Panic Bomb Arcade said my package was projected for this coming Friday and got the notification this morning that it was out for delivery. There you go. That's the opposite situation.
Very nice.
But Kairos Island probably doesn't enjoy hearing that.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see Monument Hobbies package on my route, but I guess no one paints minis. That would be funny. Omicron. Like, hey,
Like, ooh,
I know
I wonder
this.
what they
I know
ordered.
these people.
One of us.
Game Delay said I work from home. Last year helped push a mail truck out of a dip in the ice by our neighbor's place.
We had Omar, our guy who delivered to the old house.
Oh, yeah.
And it was really nice to get to know him as we worked from home, and he would come by every day, and he was our mail guy as the company was growing. So he saw us go from, a dozen packages to, hey, what am I supposed to do with this big old pile, Omar? And he's like, holy hell. He's like, I'll come back later and get it. Yeah. He loved the overtime, so he would help out any way he could.
Then we moved.
He got burnt out, I think, because he's not on that route anymore.
No,
I don't know if he got a better route. With tenure, they get better choices of what they do.
He got a better one because that neighborhood wasn't great because they had to walk everywhere.
All right. We are done with step 1 of the Noosh Dorito.
Ooh, Avian, yeah, that's about right. Assume all other drivers are deliberately out to kill you, and when they do the right thing, you're pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. So true.
Sugar Rush wants to know if we have any idea on a lead time for more Noosh.
Couple weeks is what we've been telling people.
We were absolutely blown away by how quickly it sold. Oh, yeah, and in the summer, I felt so terrible for those carriers in the summer. They would park in the shade and then walk and go back to their truck and take breaks, and just miserable. How long did the initial stock last? Not even a week.
Yeah.
2.5 days.
Yeah.
Yep. Not very long.
Slavic wants to know if there are tutorials to use Noosh for other processes like glow effects, etc.
For glow effects, we have not done a video for that.
So as a glow effect, you'd have to describe for me how you're planning on using it, because it'll go into the recesses no matter what the effect you're trying to achieve is. So if what you're saying is you want to create a glow in the recesses like on lava, it's exactly the same as what I did on this guy, right? With the overall filter. The black brown went into all the panel lining and stuff, and when I wiped it away, you got that. For glowing panels that you need to not filter the whole model, then the glazed wash medium is still probably your go-to, right? For a more traditional wash style thing. And for doing, glow with fluorescence and things like that, the glaze wash is your better bet.
Yeah, we didn't. I mean, it's a product that doesn't really exist in the market, so we didn't know either. Sapo wants to know, Jordan, when you will do a non-metallic short.
I have one that I'm thinking about doing. The tricky thing is that it has to be a short amount of steps. We don't like to do super long steps for those types of things. So we want to make sure that the tutorial portion of it is succinct and simple, doesn't have a lot of mixes, things like that. So we're working on trying to make something like that work.
Game Delay said, because I haven't ordered transparents from you yet, I was inspired by Marco Frazzoni to try airbrushing speed paints on my model. Interesting experience. Don't know if I love it.
Yeah, I mean, they're not built for that. You're better off using a real paint like our transparents. If you're an experienced airbrush artist, then you can get them to work really well.
Yeah, he said he doesn't have the transparents yet. That's why he tried this.
Yeah, you'll see that a lot of the people that are talking about airbrushing speed paints and contrast paints and things like that are very experienced artists. So it takes a lot more control with the airbrush and painting with very thin paint. And at that point in time, it really isn't the contrast paint doing anything special that you couldn't do with another paint anyway.
Belly Savalas said, I heard you've got a noosh, but will you do the Fandango?
No.
Megalodon, hola.
What's up, Megalodon? How was your weekend? I hope it was good.
And I'm sure we've said this before, but Belly Savalas is a great name.
One of the best.
Billy Savalas.
One of the best.
Jordan, do you know who Telly Savalas is?
Nope.
No.
No idea.
It's okay. Way before his time. Almost before my time.
Probably accurate.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that happened before my time.
He was Kojak. Bald head. Kojak? No.
Nah.
Who loves you, baby?
Nope.
Who loves you, baby Jay? That's what he would say. He would say, who loves you, baby? Megalodon wants to know, Jordan, if you got his message in the December challenge post.
No, but I can look as soon as I'm out of stream. Or if it's a question, just feel free to ask me here and I can answer it. Iceman, baby.
Cookie Mandia said, just want to say, after like 3 years, a FLGS started carrying your paint. I bought much of it. I have zero regrets. Love the paint. Thank you.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
I see how
What's
it
the
is.
FLGS?
Good old Megalodons giving me, joking
there's
a little bit with me.
shade.
Throwing a little shade.
Does trolling count as a question?
Yes. Depends on the troll.
DC Hobbies.
Megalodon, my FLGS got their first shipment last week too, and it's all gone already.
I
We
saw
hear
that
that happen a lot.
We try to get stores prepped, right,
Discord, I
for
think.
the kind of amazing journey that they have embarked on when they bring Procryl into their store. And it's funny because our industry doesn't really have, too many like things that happen like this. And when we go to retail and they're like, yeah, we'll give it a try. And I'm like, you probably ought to be prepped for, wanting to get a little bit more into open with and then see how it levels out and your ordering will kind of stabilize. We'll just bring in a little bit. And then it comes in and they blow through the rack in like, a day.
Hey, we need more. It's like, told you.
Mandius in Canada. That's awesome. Yeah, I was actually talking to our Canadian distributor this morning, and he was telling me that there are about 30 stores right now in Canada,
That's awesome.
and they want to get up to 50.
Dang,
So,
nice.
yeah, they have a good goal for the
Love to
year.
hear that. Good job, Canada.
No, we work with a distributor that I believe only distributes us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they started the company just to be our, because they I don't know how much I'm supposed to say about
Yeah.
this kind of stuff, but
Fair enough.
but yeah, they set up their company to be our distributor.
That's really cool.
Acryl is the ah crap moment retailers have when they've bought up other paint lines and then realize this line is the way.
The way. This is the way.
Oh, Millimeter Matt, that his FLGS bought our leftover paint after Adepticon
Oh, cool.
nice.
from our rack. Seems to have been a revolving door of sales for them ever since. That's usually
Yeah.
how it works.
It's a glorious thing when you can actually get the paint. You know.
Yeah.
Being the one of the most used and sought after, along with being right here in the U.S., it really helps our U.S. stores who have traditionally over the years had to buy from people all over the place. Even Citadel has problems getting paint from the U.S. So, always awesome.
Right. I think
Yeah,
I'm
but-
gonna let this dry.
We have a very good retailer network.
Kyra Asylum, just have them email us at the email at the link I just posted, support@monumenthobbies.com. We'll get that over to our wholesale team
I'm gonna go throw the airbrush on. I'll be right
and
back.
get the process started. Sugar Rush said, when using the weathering medium, should I varnish first?
You can. It depends on how much of the filter you want to see. If you want the model to retain more of its initial color and vibrancy and have less of the overall filter, then varnish. If what you're going for is like I did on the demo Dreadnought in the video, and I wanted it to be very grimy, then I did not varnish. Our paint especially is very matte, and so it has a lot of tooth to it, a little bit of microscopic texture. And so when you put any kind of a wash over it, it'll grab more of your surface and turn the whole model into that color. That's a filter. And so I like heavy filters when I'm weathering on things like this, so I don't varnish, but you can use our gloss varnish or some other gloss varnish to give it a smooth texture that has less tooth, and then when you put noosh on it and rub it off, you'll get back down to damn near the initial color the model was. So we would have had a much brighter surface, right? That can be really cool for doing oil streaks, things where you have, you know, a more clean surface with a specific streaking or spill or staining going on. But for most things, if you're trying to give that old weathered oxidized paint feel, then the overall filter works really well too. So again, once you get the feel for it, you'll start to find your stride. Right.
What you got going on over there, Jordan?
I am putting together some good little handles for a lot of little itty bitty tanks.
Oh, you're gonna just stick them on top of those?
That's the plan.
God.
I have to get Jason's thoughts on some neat colors for some fancy schmancy tanks.
Hot
'Cause you're
pink.
Yeah, with
No.
Jen, hot pink.
No,
No?
we're looking for something a little bit better than that. Something that kind of fits
Fluorescent
in the...
camo.
Plaid.
A tank should be camo, right?
Yep.
Fluorescent camo.
Yep. Jen's got it. I'm going with Jen.
Oh.
Chat agrees too. I can guarantee I don't even have to look at chat, and I know they already agree.
Well, I also built a bunch of Legion Imperialis this weekend. And by a bunch, I mean a metric pile of said things.
Green. Brightest green. Was in yellow. Did someone say plaid? Fluorescent camo it is. See? I think so.
Told you. Chad is a very agreeable bunch sometimes.
Sometimes.
Usually, mostly when we're trolling each other.
They are quick to participate when we troll each other.
Yeah. Especially when I am being trolled.
They seem to always side with the troll.
Oh yeah.
That makes sense
For
to me.
sure. Urban synthwave camo.
Urban synthwave camo. Probably not.
No?
Probably not.
Mean.
Look, if you're attacking a city in the 1980s, definitely want neon camo.
So I'm doing Iron Warriors for my Space Marine. That's easy. That's silver. We're doing that. I gotta figure out what I'm doing for my Solar Auxilia.
Throwing them in the garbage?
Wow!
I mean, they're Solar Auxilia. They're just going to go there anyway.
What did he?
These
I didn't
tanks
hear.
are really cool. Look at these.
What did he say?
They're so
What'd you
cute.
say?
He said to throw them in the garbage.
Oh,
That hurts.
Well,
Jason woke up and chose violence today.
Yes, it did.
they're the cannon fodder.
The tanks are not. The dudes, yeah, I'll give you that. They definitely. One, two, four, five, 6, 7.
8, 9, 10.
Oh,
11,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
12,
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Wait, what's happening? What's happening here?
Singing the counting song.
Okay. I'm a little concerned.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is that Electric Company or Sesame Street?
It was Sesame Street.
Was it?
I'm concerned, chat. Baby J has probably never watched Schoolhouse Rock or Sesame Street. You're probably not wrong.
You didn't watch Sesame Street as a kid?
I mean, maybe I did. I certainly don't remember.
Oh. I guess it wasn't. Yeah, I think we've had this conversation. For Gen X, we had nothing to watch as kids. We had Saturday morning cartoons, and they were only on Saturday mornings.
I mean,
Maybe after school.
I also had Saturday morning cartoons.
Well, yeah, but you also had the Cartoon Network, and you could turn that on anytime
is
you
accurate.
wanted. We did
Yep.
not have that.
Yeah, well, most of the time Cartoon Network didn't have, like, the cartoons that we would want.
But you had Nickelodeon.
It wasn't really a big thing when I was super young.
You had a video game at your house.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, I had a computer very young.
Nickelodeon was kind of my sister's time frame.
Yeah.
10 years younger than us.
Yes. When I was in, like, junior high school, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing, like, you can't do that on television, which was on Nickelodeon. Yeah, Megalodon, see? Alanis Morissette was on it. Let's see. Belly Savalas. The better place to do that is in Discord, because we won't click links during the stream. So if you're looking for chat's input, then you could post it, I guess. But if you want Jason and Jordan to look at it, we're not going to see it during stream.
Be afraid, Jordan.
Saturday morning cartoons was an event. You plotted out which channel you watched at what time to get the best cartoons. Exactly. Songer has noticed your white-handled brush. Asking if it is from an upcoming line.
Yes. I am testing some new filaments for the upcoming Pro Starter brushes. So we're going to be doing a line of step-down synthetics from our current Pro Synthetics. It'll be in very limited sizing. It'll be a probably, I have not completed my thought process, but Jen and I spoke about it today. We're probably looking at a 0, 2, and a flat dry brush style brush to do with them. And that will be what you find in our starter paint set. It currently has Pro Synthetics. We want to get the price of that retail wise down a little bit for people.
Sugar Rush wants to know if these will be made in house.
What's that?
The ones you're testing.
No, they will not. No, the goal with them is to get a very inexpensive baseline brush for people that, just want either, fast beat 'em up brushes that they can get for whatever they're doing and not have to worry about it. Basically a way to have you not feel like you got to go buy crappy brushes from Walmart or something. You can shop at the same time you're shopping for all your good brushes and grab just we used to do it. It was called the artillery brushes, or initially they were called the utility brush set. Bombwick Utilities, and then they became the artillery brushes, and then eventually we combined all of our synthetics into one series. And now we're looking to create just 3 sizes. It's very, very simple. You'll be able to buy them as a set or in the paint set, but only be 3 brushes.
Be a really nice way for people who are like, I don't know if I'm into this painting, but I kind of like it looks fun. I watched Jason and Jordan do it. I'd like to try it. But maybe they're not sure if they're going to like it or be good at it. An easy way for people to get some good starter brushes. Darth Mullen still has the first artillery brushes.
Nice.
What color do...
Yeah, the artillery brushes I've been painting with the number 2 or 4 here recently for quite a bit. So they are still very, very good brushes. And that's kind of what these are. They're based off the exact same hair that the artillery brushes were. So makes that easy.
Light blue, dark blue, orange, maroon, special named sets. I don't think we ever had orange or maroon.
Nope.
That painting looks fun. Sees Jordan pull out 20 tanks, or maybe not.
Yeah, exactly. 20 tanks. This looks like fun, except when you have to do 5 million of them.
It's fine. Everything's fine here. Don't worry about it.
Doing some fast non-metallic on the weapons here.
Go look. I don't recall ever making orange or maroon brushes.
No, haven't. Nope. Our handles have always been red and blue.
And black.
Oh, and the black.
$325 already.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
Impossible.
Slavic wants to know if Jordan is as interesting as painting a conquest army of troops.
This is probably more fun just because I don't do this kind of stuff super often. Conquest is like larger scale than most other things, and you have like 3 times as many models.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a lot of models and they're bigger.
Yeah. So, I'm using brown gray, by the way.
Millimeter Matt said, "Have you ever explored the idea of making making a cheap paint line catering to terrain builders, something between mini grade and basic Walmart craft acrylics? Is that even profitable?"
No, unfortunately, the way we're tooled, we can really only afford to spend time on quality paints. It ain't that simple. Everything from our labor, we just invested an absolute crap ton in hardware for filling to automate a lot of our facility here. And we would not be able to get enough out of something like that to compete with Apple Barrel,
Slavic, you heard wrong. Normal time, 4 o'clock.
But I'm a big fan of sending people to buy Apple Barrel paints. That's what they're for, terrain. And they do it very, very well. So
take quality over quantity any day. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you.
It's just one of those know your lane.
Yeah.
Everything we've done has been built around building a better liquid acrylic paint. The shift gears would be so much of a focus internally that it would make sense. Unless we were trying to sell to like Dick Blick or Michaels or something like that, but that's not a thing.
Oh man, I love this brown gray. Holy crap!
Okay, it's a great color.
Droidica, hey guys, what air pressure do you recommend for a beginner to airbrush with?
It doesn't matter who you are. Airbrush at about 18 to 22 psi. Get used to being in that range, and airbrushing becomes a lot easier for you. We don't ever change the pressure, so there are people who swear by upping and raising and lowering the pressure to get various techniques done. And if you like doing that, go for it. It's much better long term to get used to painting at one pressure and learning to feather your trigger and move the airbrush, because that's something that you can do no matter what your output is. Because in miniature painting, we start painting with, lower viscosity paints, higher viscosity paints, and the one thing that will always be needed is your understanding of the paint itself and how to move the airbrush and feather that trigger to get it to work the way you want. You can't solve that with PSI alone. I'm a big fan of telling people to stick, and we're at like 22 right now, I think.
And you can brush the primer on, never thin it. You don't ever want to thin it for airbrush or brush. Does not need it. Spitfire Miniatures would like to know if the fluorescence can be used as a glaze, or will its effect be negated?
It's usually, that's what they're built for, right? They're single pigment fluorescent, so they're very translucent. And so you'll glaze them on over the top of things to get that brightness. We didn't care about the whole UV glow-in-the-dark thing, right? We've said that from the beginning. That's a shtick that doesn't have anything to do with why we're building paints. It's neat that they do that if you want it. But yeah, they're basically pre-mixed glazes that are just built for vibrancy.
I wanted to have a cloak fade from red to orange to yellow. Can I do that with a glaze using the fluorescence?
Yeah.
And we do not, no, we're in a big open room, and they don't spray a lot at any time. And also, don't care what people think.
What's that?
Avian said, I will confirm, you can prime a model with a large brush. People will just look at you as if you have a second head. And Slavic said, just don't do it in front of people. And I said, and don't care what people think.
Yeah.
You do what works for you. It doesn't matter what people think about it.
Nope.
Just got Nushin paints today. Awesome. Cordell, we talked about this earlier, actually. Yes, Jordan. Well, we have a short, one of our shorts that Jordan did for a snowy base.
It's on the interwebs.
It's on the YouTubes.
And primed your Space Marines, yeah. It takes a little bit longer, obviously, but that's the truth of using the airbrush versus the hand brush all the time.
On anything, exactly.
One of the things the airbrush does very well, we were asked a minute ago, is that it speeds up whatever you're doing. In most cases, if you're doing, like base coats and priming especially. If you're doing details, it can slow you down. But even then, once you get proficient, the airbrush is all about adding efficiency, speed to the task at hand.
Professional Paint Liquor. So we only have the one Paint Liquor 9000, and you don't work for us. So it's not replacing you.
So over the brown gray, I'm mixing in a little bit of pale yellow. And then we're going to do this for our highlights.
The shorts do have dramatic music.
Yeah, they do. Very, very dramatic.
We do not have dramatic music during the stream. We had to stop playing music during stream. It became very controversial. People will get in fights.
They would argue.
They really would.
It just got to the point where I'm like, that's not what this is for.
Yeah, no more music. This is why we can't have nice things.
It was the
was.
quintessential, this is why we can't have
Yeah.
nice things kind of moment. That would argue, somebody would say something offensive because they didn't like the music, and I'm like, dude, it's just a song. It isn't even going to be on that much
We
longer.
would do themed, like, song request themes. So we would have a theme, and, like, you can request any song you want, but it has to fit this theme. And there were, people who were very adamant about their choices and about how it would fit the theme. And they wanted to give explanations. And we're like, no, that doesn't fit the theme. Nope, not playing that one. Then they would yell at each other. That's not the theme. I couldn't actually hear their voices, so I added that.
I want to believe that was the voice, though.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was. I want super dramatic music as Jason touches a model with invisible paint in the same place for the 20th time. The dramatic music when it looks like he's been using invisible paint, and then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, there's stuff there.
Like, wait a minute.
How'd that happen?
He's just pretending he's painting.
Just rubbing, or he's like hovering the brush over the model. It's not moving at all.
It's so funny. That's been one of the curses of me during streaming painting for these last 8 years. Is that so many people will be like, wait a minute, you weren't doing anything, and now it looks like this.
We were cheating the whole time.
We should have a really good visual effects supervisor.
Yeah. Very, very good.
Gabe is really, really good with CGI.
Mhm.
And so he's in the background, and I just have to pretend that I'm moving the brush close to an area, and then he goes and gets the color filters and all that stuff figured out.
We're very high tech around here. Guess maybe you didn't know that. Game Delay said the whole lesson you gave about the amount of liquid in your brush has been huge in helping me improve my painting.
Awesome.
After I made the same joke a few weeks ago. Yeah, Jason and Jordan aren't actually in the room.
Nope. No, we're...
They're AI.
Yeah, we're...
This is deep fake.
Yeah, we are being deep faked into this stream right here. We're on a beach somewhere drinking pina coladas
Yeah.
and reading books.
Speak for yourself. I was never real to begin with.
Wow.
Yeah, sables are always red. Not orange. Light blue artillery. Deck cords were dark blue. Dry brushes have always, been dark blue.
I need to write this recipe down so I don't forget it.
Go, Sue. Hello.
Its ratio, by the way, is 50-50 pale yellow to brown gray, by the way.
Gosu said, epic heresy, or Jordan just grew massive hands.
Yeah, I grew up a lot over the weekend. I got very, very tall. My hands got a lot larger than normal.
Oh,
That's
it's like
awesome.
that girl who eats and gets bigger.
And pukes to get smaller.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part, by the way.
That's the unfortunate part.
Well, yeah, because I love the fact that her story has been based around, well, that's her power and that's what she has to do, but it isn't. It's about both directions, is what we learned at the end of that
Well,
one.
the same with the main girl who has to cut herself. You know,
Yeah.
these are like real issues that people have, and that's how they get their power.
Well, and you notice, too, that the main girl doesn't have to cut herself. She can just, if there's blood around,
Well, yeah.
it works.
Yes.
But in order to get blood around, usually she has to cut herself.
Yeah.
But the other girl, made it sound like the whole time that her whole thing is, that's just my power. It's what I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
When it isn't. She could be giant girl instead of
Right.
Mouse.
Instead of
or
cricket.
cricket.
Yeah.
She chose to be cricket.
Mm-hmm.
She could have been giant girl the whole time and just kept eating.
Yep.
But then she would have to make herself throw up to get small again, I guess.
To get normal size, yeah.
These are the kind of things that are like the joke powers. Like, I want to shoot spaghetti out of my fingers.
Yeah. It's Gen V. Gen V is the name? of the
Generation V, yeah.
Yeah. It's a spin-off of The Boys.
We started watching it.
That's pretty good.
It's
I
good.
like The Boys.
It's really
so-
good.
But it's, very graphic. We just stream. Okay, so Gabe was saying that the stream is just two random dudes in green morph suits. We stream the audio from the Bahamas.
Gabe, why are you telling everybody all our secrets?
You
Gabe
started
Delay-
it.
Gabe Delay said the picture comes together. New guy Phil puts on a green suit, pretends to paint while Jason does voiceover, and you put in the paint with VFX. Yes. Yeah. I think it's fairly new, Deadbeat Artist.
Gen V?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only like a month or so.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit longer.
But it's good. If you like The Boys, I would say it's just as good.
I mean, it is. It's the boys. It's
Yeah.
just about, kids in
Kids going
school,
to school.
in the world of the boys. The college prep for Vought
Yep.
is what it is. There's just another host of baddies, trying to exploit everybody in the never-ending search for social media ratings. It's kind of the way that whole world works.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. We got a whole bunch of Tankerinos done.
The new Invincible is really good too. But of course, that's just following the comic book, and they do a pretty good job of that. So you didn't expect anything less from it if you had already been watching it. It's pretty faithful.
Spitfire, we did say det cord. Our a previous brush line before Pro Synthetics, we called det cords.
Yeah, the brushes were originally called bomb wicks.
Yeah. So that's where we had artillery,
Long wicks,
long wicks,
det cords.
det cords. Watched a few episodes of The Boys, and I thought it was good, but I kind of got the story because I've already read comics with that kind of story, if that makes sense. This sounds
Boys is-
different.
Well, The
to
Boys is a
anything I've
comic.
seen.
So,
Yeah.
Did you read The Boys?
Yeah. Did you read The Boys?
Because The Boys was kind of the first one that did that. I mean, there have been comics for a long time that are about, you know, the other side of human nature of superheroes. It's a Garth Ennis, right?
I don't know who the author is for Boys.
The Watchmen. I didn't like The Watchmen.
Well, Alan Moore and his stuff was great for, you know, different reason. It was very human aspect to the superheroes, but it wasn't like over the top like this where there were superheroes, you know, that are basically like what if Superman was just out for social media ratings. You know, the whole Vought storyline is really what The Boys is about this evil corporation that is creating superheroes to dominate the world, as opposed to the Watchmen. Which was more just kind of a, you know, what if superheroes got disillusioned? I guess the Comedian was very similar in the Watchmen to what you find in The Boys. And the fact that it was very much about the society and the, you know, the way it was perceived. And yeah, The Boys stands alone. It's its own thing. I think it's very good. The comic book is way over the top compared to the TV series, if you can believe that.
Millimeter Matt wants to know if you've seen the Furiosa trailer.
Nah.
New George Miller film in the Mad Max universe. So excited.
I didn't like Fury Road, so I'm not your boy for that world. That is not Mad Max. But I grew up with one of my favorite movies being Road Warrior and the original Mad Max. So for me, I was very disappointed in Fury Road. It was just a lot of bang, pow, crash, blow up stuff. It felt like it was not a movie that was a Road Warrior movie. It was a la Thunderdome. Thunderdome is also not a Mad Max movie. Tina Turner, be
That's
damned.
A controversial statement that you didn't like Fury Road.
Yeah, I would think so.
Not a fan. Not a fan, man. I think the way the movie was filmed was really good. I think that it was a fun watch. I think that it's not my Mad Max, not why I like Mad Max. Max was not that character. Somehow he just turned into some blithering idiot.
It's because it wasn't Mel Gibson.
Also true. You like Thunderdome, Omicron? There you go.
We don't need another hero.
I think there were neat things in it. In Fury Road, but it was
paint.
Godzilla -1 I want to go see. I was going to look up today to see what theaters it's playing at close by so that I could put a message out in Corp Chat here that I was looking to go see it if anybody wanted to go see it after work one of these days.
That's a yes for me.
It's getting hugely great reviews. It's
heard
right
good
now
things.
about to set a record and break the nuclear weapon guy.
Oppenheimer?
Oppenheimer.
Oh.
Yeah, Godzilla -1 is about to break Oppenheimer's 23 record.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Deadbeat, exactly. I got bored with it. It was just a bunch of running around in the desert with a bunch of cars and stuff, and taking the whole, like, you know, it felt like you were watching Burning Man. It just wasn't Mad Max.
It's playing at the one up by the Target on 19th Avenue and Bethany Home.
Not this one up here on Camelback.
And it is playing at the one on Camelback as well.
That'd be the one to go to. Were the ogres chained up? I don't know what the story is on that. I have to read more of the book. They obviously all have got, you know, weird, like, bear trap looking chains on their wrists or ankles, except for the leader. Right, the leader doesn't have any of that. The rest of them are all ex-prisoners. They're all ex-con ogres, ex-con gorgers. Gorger ex-con. I'm going to rust up the chains and stuff, but again, you know me, I paint everything as if it were not weathered and then go back and weather it as opposed to setting it up that way. So I'll paint them up a little bit shiny, kind of a dull shine to them.
Lone Samurai, hello. Glad
You haven't drowned in England yet?
Is it raining a lot there?
The leader uses his Bluetooth headset to give orders. Yes. Yes. He has his headphones on.
Yeah.
He got ear horns, or he heard that people use ear horns, and he had no idea what that meant, so this is what you got. Paint something perfectly clean and then appreciate how clean and pretty it is and spend days filthy and... Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? For me, it's like this guy, you know, painting him up cleanly like we did on stream, and then showing you the power of weathering. But it also lets you really appreciate this simplistic nature of weathering once you do that, because it's a lot easier to paint a model cleanly with just layered color and not worry about it instead of mixing all of these colors along the way. Now, some people prefer to do that, and that's great. And there's times where I will do that. But, you know, mainly I will paint it super clean and then weather the absolute crap out of it. Because I can control that way the level of weathering as I go through it and the kind of patchiness. And for me in my brain, it makes sense because when you clean your car and you put it outside, it starts getting dirty. And so you can take clean and add dirt to it, and it becomes a little bit more realistic. The horns are just an old school beer hat. Yeah, I need straws out of it. That'd be cool.
Malev said, "Oh my goosh, I've been trying out that noosh."
Oh my noosh.
Oh my goosh.
Said I done goofed though by doing it on a metal model that I airbrush primed like 10 minutes before.
Took that primer right off.
Yep. That will happen.
Yeah. Megalodon, take it easy, man. Good seeing you.
See you, Megalodon.
Don't send any more stuff.
You might need to get rid of more about you bastards. The chains on the gorgers are because the ogres chain them up. Okay. Okay, gotcha. That makes sense then. But they have a boss. So does the boss get along with the ogres? Like they just let him roam around? Just put it on your dragon. Let's see the results. Nice.
Ooh, fun. Noosh? Jade? Is that what you're saying?
For scales and stuff.
Cool.
That should be really good. Remember, you'll get the best results if doing things like scales to go the direction the scales go. Don't go against the scales trying to clean them. Don't try to push the noosh into the recesses. Move it off the top spots, right? Make sure when you put it on, you put it into all the recesses. And then when you're going to remove it, go with the grain, not against the grain, I guess, right? Because it might seem like what you're trying to do is push it into the recesses, but if you go against the scales to where it's like as you're rubbing it, you're going to push way too much pigment there, and you won't get the streaking and the kind of shadow that it creates. Go with the grain down the easy, smooth part, and just let it pull off the top spots, and then go in and you know, fine tune it as you need.
Need more airbrushing sounds. Jordan is supposed to be singing or making noises.
The
You're not
The
singing
boss,
right
although
now.
infected, is still more with it enough to communicate. Gotcha. Okay, cool. I remember reading that part in the book. Millimeter Mad. I thought it was always raining in England. I thought it was part of the deal. It's like Seattle. It just rains every day.
Yep. I miss the rain. I like rain.
Did you get rain this weekend? Did you get to see the parade at all? Out your house, apartment? No.
Nope.
Did you?
Was not even aware that it was happening. I remembered it
I
from
had
the.
no idea there even was a parade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were pretty subtle about it because they didn't block off any streets like they did for the Pride thing.
Oh, they did. Well, I mean, we were coming back from Scottsdale, and they had Indian school closed at, where'd we turn? 7th Street?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was blocked off quite a bit.
Oh, interesting.
Sectorix, quick question. What's the best recipe to shoot your paints via airbrush? 50-50 with thinner?
That's a good place to start. You can do without thinner if you're just trying to get really vibrant base coats down. I do all of my base coats without thinning at all. So I just run it straight out of the brush, dump it in, spray it out. If I were doing a whole army, I would thin it, because running it without any reducer or dilution at all will cause you to get tip dry after a time. But one model, you're fine. Make a wash
Said
here
not
real
even
quick with our
water?
glaze wash.
Ghost who said, I went for a walk the other day, walked by the Christmas parade. I saw it, said, bah humbug, and turned around and walked the other way.
To heck with that. You don't need that in your life. Kind of negativity. Freaking goody two-shoe Christmas Grinch. I've got Baby J convinced that I absolutely just hate phone goodness.
I'm going to put up some Christmas decorations this year. You better watch out.
Next, you tell me I better not cry either.
Better not cry. Better not pout.
Are you telling me why?
Yeah, I'm telling you why.
Are you telling me why? Are you sitting here trying to tell me?
We got all our Christmas presents yesterday. We're done now.
Yeah, we got a lot of Christmas gifts yesterday. That was our Christmas spending at its max, I think.
James Syram said, question, when zenithal highlighting, do you recommend your normal bold titanium white or the white primer over your black primer?
Either or. I typically use the white primer because that's the stage I'm at when I'm doing it, you know? So that's what I like to do, but do it either way. Whatever you prefer.
Whatever you prefer.
No singing.
No dancing.
Exactly.
Oh, well, that explains why I wasn't getting any paint out. I didn't put any in the airbrush. I was like, why is this not working?
You didn't put paint in the airbrush?
Correct.
Oh.
Correct. I was wondering why the airbrush didn't work, and I checked it, and it's
Skip that
because
step.
no paint.
Did we answer Lone Samurai's question? Is it worth making premixes of Noosh mixes? No.
Definitely. Yeah. There's no reason why not to. Use it to your advantage if you've got one that you really like. I'm looking at doing premixed colors of Noosh. Initially, we were like, well, we'll see how it does in the marketplace. See what people think of Noosh. And if it takes off, people really like our idea, then we'll come back and look at doing some premixed colors. So I would, the colors that I use on the Dread would be top of my list. Black, brown, yellow ochre, burnt sienna that you see me using here. I'm just using the glaze and wash medium though, because I'm just doing a quick filter over the top of the metal.
Can we get 96 color mixes of Noosh?
No. But thanks
Not
for asking.
happening.
But thanks for asking.
I'm just spraying, thinned it down, just because I'm doing a ton of work with the dark silver here. So I'm just spraying it right on top of all of these little dudes. All of the little mans.
Dark purple primer is something we're actually talking about, yes. But we don't have a release date or anything yet. Not that far along. Ghosty wants to know what Legion you're doing for Legion's Imperialist.
Doing Iron Warriors and Solar Auxilia.
Your Gosu's best friend.
Yep. 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 My boys. Goes to the reason I decided to do Iron Warriors was because my Adeptus Titanicus Legio is Krytos. So I have a bunch of
I'll be back.
Titans that are painted already. And I mean, they're done. I have a whole army done. In those colors. So I wanted to keep it nice and thematic. So I put them with the Siege Boys. Oh, nice. That's very cool. Yeah, I love the Krytos colors. They're my favorite. Baby J should do Space Sharks for Tiny 30k. Didn't exist.
We've been through this.
And then I think my Solar Auxilia, I'm doing kind of gray, like a brownish gray and red is going to be my accent color.
He's asking if you have your picture of your Kratos Titans. So you can post in Discord or something?
Yeah, I'll post. I have one on my phone right now. I took some the other day when there was some decent lighting out. I'm sure I'll bring them in on stream so you guys can check them out too. But yeah, I'll post one right after stream so y'all can see it. They are all weathered up. Yeah, these were great. Right. Sprue number 4. Ooh, just a Space Marine sprue. Let's go. The Space Marines look really good. Lots of detail.
I'm very unhappy. It makes me not want to do them because the standard troopers have got that really bad extrusion spot
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
between the gun and the body, and the pouch or backpack or whatever
Yeah.
spot. And I was looking at it going, oof, that's brutal. I get it at that scale. It's hard to
Yeah.
pull off that model and get it to go in one piece if your detail is all detached and the undercuts are tiny. But yeah, I was like, But they do get some neat posing and stuff out of them by doing it. So
Yeah, there's definitely some really good posing. I think the Assault Marines are actually really, really nice. But I have to admit, the thing I'm the most impressed with is all the tanks. The tanks are like just ridiculous.
awesome.
There are a lot of pieces.
Are they?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh my god, they're like it took me the better part of a weekend to build 5, 10, 17 tanks.
Wow.
I would say they're like 15 pieces each.
That's like Flames of War.
Yeah.
They're tiny compared to that.
Is Flames of War larger scale?
Let me see your tanks. Oh yeah, yeah, much more. Yeah, Flames of War is bigger than that.
Yeah.
Not by much. All right. Now we look at.
Yeah, those guys are looking sweet. Looking good, Jason.
Turned it down quite a bit. Thank you. Turned it down quite a bit so that I didn't get a tremendous rusty nonsense. Didn't want to lose all of the metal work that I had done, but that gives us a really good grimy start. I painted all the steel just with blue black and gray blue and then white blue. Oh yeah, it turned out perfect on the hammers there. Again, the glaze wash medium is just a godsend. It with a little bit of the burnt sienna like that, and you get instantaneous rust. More of a filmy rust the way that I've done it, having it be so thin like that, right? But you get that nice easy filter. The wash still builds up in between like the rivets and the bolts and all that stuff that they've got going on. It just gives a nice grimy look to it.
Oh, I see Jade saying the noosh result makes me happy.
I like that.
That's good to hear.
Jade said that?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's too easy, Jade. Like it hopefully you're seeing very quickly just how easy it is to get great results too. It doesn't take a lot of work. Pile a little bit more on his arm because he's got a pretty good amount of visibility right out here in the open. So
Professional paint liquor. Have a good night.
Good night, Professional Paint Liquor.
take it easy. See you tomorrow. There we go.
Did you see Millimeter Matt's question? How do you plan on painting over the dark silver?
No, I did not see that question, but I can definitely answer it. The plan is to do like a pseudo zenithal highlight with, as much as I can while they're on the sprue, with silver. Do the same thing on the tanks, and then they're gonna get all the details painted in, and then we're gonna do some washes and filtering and stuff like that from there. I could dry brush them, but I'm not gonna clip out each of these guys individually and do dry brushing on them, because that sounds like a thing that I would want to do if I want to kill myself.
Well, okay then.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, that sounds like not at all anything remotely close to what I would want to be doing.
He says he's going to do some hazard stripe, so we'll see if that actually happens.
That actually sounds like fun, though. Whether I do it on all the dudes, I don't know. It looks good. It helps kind of break up the monotony of the silver, but we'll see.
Lone Samurai, the Wolfguard arms, they're the same scale, yeah? Use what you're doing. If you're making Wolfguard, use Wolfguard arms. They may not be as dynamic as the only thing, right? The Leviathan Terminators are pretty cool. You hazard stripe after masking 6mm dudes with tape. No.
Nope.
That's a hand thing.
No.
One brush
sir.
stroke. makes a stripe.
Yep.
It's easy.
Yeah.
All right, gang. We are at the end. We've come to the end of another wonderful stream. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend and that you are all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed heading off into this week. We get ever closer to the end of the year. Remember, we do stream 5 days a week here, so if you're tuning in for the first time, please hit that follow button. 2 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, Mountain Standard Time or Arizona time, if you don't know what the hell Mountain Standard Time is, because we don't. But 2 to 4 Monday through Friday. We'd love to see you back here. Remember, you can catch up with all the links that Jen has put in chat there. The store and the FLGS links will show you where you can get Monument Hobbies products close to you. You can always get them direct for us, but please support your local stores when you have a chance. As well as the YouTube and the Discord, which are great ways to find content from us. The Discord, a great hangout with all of the community members, over 3,000 of us hanging out, talking paint and nerd stuff all day, every day. And the Discord where all of these streams go after the fact. So if you got in late and didn't catch it all, you can catch up with the beginning that you missed, or spots later on down the road. If you saw something you like, you want to come back and reference it, please do check out the YouTube channel. And we will find somebody to raid, so show some love in the chat you wind up in, and we will be happy to see you again
Challenge
tomorrow.
review tomorrow, yes?
Challenge review is
Challenge
tomorrow.
Oh,
review
yeah,
is
that's right.
tomorrow, yes.
The November challenge review is tomorrow. So join in
all
for that.
prepped for it, so.
And we will see you on the flip side. Adios, gang.
Adios!